So you guys know that I love Cattleya orchids. Maybe about 70% of my collection is a Cattleya orchid. And I started out with phals, and then I started moving to like summer blooming phals. I discovered oncidiums. We'll talk about that another time. And I also discovered beautiful dendrobiums. Now, dendrobiums are pretty nice. Like they have flowers that last a really long time, similar to phals. They're quite easy to grow, even easier, I'd argue, than Phalaenopsis. And I think this is a good way to diversify your collection. If you only grow Phalaenopsis or you're new to orchids, these are very forgiving. Now, Den Phals can be very big. So I've had some Dendrobium Phalaenopsis that got huge. So I'm going to show you how to care for these, but I'm also going to recommend some compact dendrobiums because you can have beautiful dendrobiums with lots of flowers that are not too big, just like this one. So let's get into it. So there are so many different types of dendrobiums. We're going to focus on Dendrobium Phalaenopsis types. A lot of those have Dendrobium bigibbum in the parentage, but that's not always 100% the case, but we're talking about dendrobiums that flower from their canes just like this. Their flowers can look similar to like a Phalaenopsis type flower. Some are different. There are so many different types of dendrobiums out there, hundreds if I'm not mistaken. So they're all somewhat different, but Den Phals are very common, easy to find, easy to grow. They are sympodial orchids. They have multiple growth structures, and because of that, they are forgiving. I find that they're very easy to grow. What makes them very unique is that they're evergreen. Unlike a Dendrobium nobile, they keep their leaves. They don't drop their leaves. Some of them will rebloom from the same cane. So this one, year after year, this is a newer one. I have the purple as well that I've had for 5 years. It maintains its small size. It gets just a tiny bit bigger than this, not more than a foot tall compared to some others, but they will rebloom for many years from the same cane. So that means if you care for it well, you can have a very small orchid with lots of flowers. I've had one with like 7 different canes. It gives a beautiful show. The blooms last a long time. They can last at minimum a month, but if your temperatures are not super hot, it could last up to 3 months. So the blooms are very long lasting. They love bright light, so they're similar to Cattleyas in that way, but they need less light than a Phalaenopsis. So let's get into the water and the fertilizer. So you're going to water these and let them dry and then repeat. And typically these are in bark or some sort of mix that's airy. I personally use bark and sphagnum moss. So in this pot, I have some kiwi bark from New Zealand, and I have about 30% sphagnum moss. If you live in a very humid environment, I would recommend you forego the sphagnum moss because it will retain moisture much longer. But if you have dry indoor conditions, it tends to work very well. So about 30% is usually in my dendrobium mixes. That being said, you water. I have a saucer there, but you water it thoroughly, you let it drain, and then you water it again when it dries out. And if the pot is smaller, it's going to dry faster. If the pot is bigger, it will take longer to dry out. So you just keep that in mind. We don't water on a schedule. We have to water when the pot is after the pot is dry. You don't want to water these when they're still completely wet or still moist because that can rot their roots. So water them, let them dry, water them again. Whereas with Phalaenopsis is a monopodial orchid. It doesn't have a structure that holds on to water. So these canes have energy for this plant, which is why it's so easy to grow. If you don't water the Phalaenopsis more often, it will decline faster. They have energy reserves, which is what makes it easier. I noticed that they like snug pots. I try not to put them in something so big. Like you'll get these tall structures and have a relatively compact root system, and that's just the way that they are. But if you get a very tall Dendrobium Phalaenopsis, I'd opt for like a clay pot or a heavy pot, just because they could top over. So the care is the same regardless of size. But if you get like a taller one, put in a clay pot, put in a heavy pot, they'll topple over more for you. So I would say that these dendrobiums, they tend to bloom once a year. Some of them bloom twice a year, depends. My Anobi has bloomed twice per year, like with rogue spikes. Um, they tend to bloom more in the summer. However, I'm getting spikes on almost all of them, and I think it's because I repotted them, so they're a little bit delayed. Um, and they're gonna have less flowers because I messed with all of their root systems earlier in the spring and summer. So it makes sense to me why they were a little bit more delayed. But they can bloom any time of the year. Generally, here for me, I've noticed that they bloom more in the summer and into the fall. Like I said, the blooms can last a really long time, between 6 to 8 weeks. But if it's not too hot, if you keep the humidity nice and high, it could last like 3 months, similar to a Phalaenopsis. In terms of humidity, it's not a big deal to have very high humidity, 32. So I don't have super humid conditions, but it's more about the watering and it's more about making sure that the humidity is high within the pot. So I water my orchids. I'm in here in the fall, maybe every 4 or 5 days, and I water mostly the smaller pots that are dry more than the bigger ones. The bigger ones are probably like once a week. Den Phals like it hot. They like it hotter than Cattleyas. I would say that the sweet spot for them is 65 to 85 degrees. Some of them, they're generally warm to hot growers. The hotter it is, the faster they grow. And then as they grow through the summer, that's what sets it up to flower later on. So you want to fertilize. I like half strength in the summer, and then you could taper that back in the winter. But these grow all year, so you kind of want to feed them year round. You just taper that back in the winter. They don't get a dry winter rest because they are evergreen, as I mentioned. Okay, common mistakes with these are people overwater them typically. So you want to make sure you water them, let it dry. And that can be accomplished with chunky mix, a pot that's not too big. That's another mistake. Some people put them in huge pots, but they have a smaller root system. And when that happens, you can drown the roots, so just be mindful of that. And then the next biggest mistake is that they don't get enough light. So I've had tall ones that I grow under lights. In fact, I have one over here that I'll show you, my Dendrobium Gatton Sunray. That one is technically not a Den Phal, but it's humongous. I grow all of my Dendrobiums under lights. You could grow them on a south-facing window with like a sheer curtain, or like an east-facing window openly. But they need good light, similar to Cattleyas. So I put something like this, maybe about 6 inches to the tops of the leaves, but you do get flowers on them. So the smaller it is, the more further away they can be. If you have high output lights, you could put it a foot away from the tops of the leaves, and they tend to bloom pretty well. So like I said, there's so many small ones, so I wanted to share them because a lot of home growers watch me. So this one is the Dendrobium New Hope Mini. It's not too big. It has a lot of canes. I've had this for a few years. I've had it since it was a seedling, and it's about to bloom. It's got a really pretty flower, lasts a really long time, and it'll push out 2 spikes per growth. So this one is probably going to give me another spike later on from this growth. You could see like older canes. Eventually, when it's old, it does drop the leaf, but that's only something that happens when the cane is very, very old. So otherwise, it holds on to the leaves for quite a few years. I've had this for 5 years. Another pretty one that's quite small is the Dendrobium Pink Sparkle. That's also in bloom. I've had that one for 4 years. That was gifted to me by Michael McCarthy a while back. That's a beautiful one. It blooms often. The flowers are very pretty. I don't think that's an official name, but I just wanted to share. You could find smaller Dendrobiums because the majority of them are humongous. So I got a random no ID Den Phal years ago, and it grew so tall that I just let it go. I just had to give it away. It was just too big, too tall. I didn't have room for it. I only have room for one massive Dendrobium, and that's my Gatton Sunray over there. So something to keep in mind is that these are spider mite magnets. The leaves tend to get this sap, so I have to watch that. So keep that in mind. I haven't spoken about the other kinds of Dendrobiums. I have quite a few Australian Dendrobiums as well, and I noticed that's a problem with them too. Now, Den Phals, they're not fragrant, but Australian Dendrobiums are fragrant. If you guys are interested in a video, there's one right here that you can check out from a while back, but I can make a fresh one if you guys want to see more about that now that I've had some in my care for a while. But those Australian Dendrobiums are fragrant. The blooms last not that long though. So it's like you have trade-offs, right? You can get these pretty blooms that last you a very long time, 3 months, but no fragrance. Or you can get an Australian Dendrobium that's highly fragrant, but then those only last like 2 weeks max, in my experience, in my care. So anyhow, look who joined me. Zoe. Say hi. She's camera shy. She just wants to be on my lap at the moment, but she jumped on my lap mid-video. I wanted to show these orchids because they're easy to grow. I really enjoy them. And you guys let me know down below if you grow them, if you like them or not. As I said, the trade-offs are no fragrance, but they last a really long time and they're very pretty. Like I think this Dendrobium Minobi purple, it's beautiful. So I'm going to put it, once it's fully bloomed and open, I'm going to hang it on a window. I'm going to enjoy watching it for a few months, probably till January. It's going to last me a long time. So I don't mind that. I don't mind a flower that lasts a really long time. Zoe cannot stop purring. My goodness. Anyhow, if you guys are interested in more content, I have a membership that you guys are welcome to join. It gives access to Discord where you can ask me questions. And I'll also make specific videos for any specific questions. Also, I'll also be releasing care guides for members as well. The last one that I made was on seedlings for the month of October. And down below, you can get a link for a Cattleya guide. Let me know if you guys have any questions and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.